So I'll be Andre Harrell's final interview before he passed away was with Kenny Burns, and he did the interview maybe a month before he died, and he then mentioned about the infamous day when Gene Griffin came to the house to the studio, and to hear Andre Harrell tell it, it was the fact that Teddy was in the car, and on Gene comes to the house and says, "I need you to sign over your his publishing and that you held on to." Um, and and so that was so when that's all the sign that things that he signed over to Uptown. Gene was like, "I want you to sign it back to me because I'm out of prison and I'm in control of this stuff."
Mhm.
And that's where and Andre was probably trying to like, well, no, 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 and then the altercation, and
Mhm.
Jimmy Love says that the day that Andre got slapped, that it was almost like that day, it was a that he remembered that day as well. Um, but it goes to show how there were people behind the scenes that knew the value of all the stuff, but everyone else was just oblivious to the ins and outs, and which is very sad and unfair to our very creative young Black artists. And not everyone had the opportunity to have a Clarence Avon help like they did with Jimmy and Terry. I was just saying that on Jimmy and Terry, and even we're very fortunate that Clarence gave them an ins and outs of everything. And so we've lost a lot of our young creators because they just didn't have that. Um, you were there in the office at the time. Was it a scary thing to witness the aftermath of that?
You know what, Namdi? It's so interesting because I was not there when it happened.
Okay.
And what happened, I showed up a little later
Oh,
that
on the same
day,
day. Okay.
same day. And um, I'll tell a little bit my business. I got my new car and I wanted to come down and show it off. And I go in the office, and Andre, if anyone knows Andre, he's just always in a good mood, dancing. That his $1 million smile. But when I walked in that door, he was not smiling. You could tell something happened, and I didn't know what it was. And he was just down and looked sad. And then I went downstairs in the office, and then someone told me what happened. And I was like, "Oh my God, you seriously?" Because this is at that time his office was where he lived,
Mm.
So whoever's after him knows where he works and lives, you know. And I'm like, "Wow, that's crazy." And then I remember going back upstairs, and Andre came in and he said, "Yo, yo, your car's all that." Andre was coming back, you know. We didn't see this part of the business, and now it's right in front of us now. His office and do that, and I had all these years I never knew why, but because as you just told me, but that's very very scary, very scary.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, it's one of the things that it's still disappointing within black music. But then by this time, what does that change for yourself? Are you more are you researching more, or does it just it's just a thing?
Oh, I'll tell you. You know what? I'll be honest. Um, I I knew what kind of people I didn't want to be around because I didn't know, I'm 21, 22. I don't know these people. Older people who were veterans, I was wary of because they knew how the
Okay.
game worked. So if they were like over 30 or 35, I was like, I know where they come from. And I was a, suburban boy. So, I couldn't judge these people because I didn't know anyone like them.
Mm,
So yes, it did. It affected knowing who I was around,
yeah.
you know. Um, and because every at that time everybody wanted to be involved with us or with me, and there was no way I could figure out who was who. because I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to make sure the way I did that was I stayed more to myself over the years, and only took on other people who came with a reference.
Oh, wow.
Like, oh yeah, I know him. If I didn't know you, I couldn't be in your circle.
Wow. But how did it change you, the fame and success, and the money? How much did that change your personality? And
You know what? Again, especially with publishing and all that stuff, I didn't know how many people were involved. I knew, like, for instance, with my publishing, it wasn't only me. There was 10, 15 other artists, producers that signed that same piece of paper, excuse me. So I didn't take it personally. My parents, God rest their souls, it wasn't a good thing. And my parents said, well, this company and this man, they're in this for business. They're not in here to be your friends. So they did business, and you got taken advantage of. You gotta learn. And then by that time, now I have representation and management and lawyers, but it's too late. Nothing you could do unless you do it the way Teddy did it. So it's unfortunately part of the learning experience. Hopefully people coming into the industry now, you listen to the people that were in the game before you, and understand what this is all about. This ain't games. This ain't making music. It's a business.
Yeah. But then personally, the success and the money, how did it change who you were as a person, your lifestyle, and your personality?
No, it didn't. Again, just my family would not allow that. I was the same regular guy. I understood I got to get better at what I'm doing. Yeah, you got a little bit of success, but you still got music changes. And if you're not talented enough to change with the change, you're gonna be in trouble. So I was always motivated by learning and getting better. I always treat people the same way. That's where I was raised. I think me not being someone out in front with a high profile, there was no personality to change.
Okay.
So I've always been the same guy all these years.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the Halftime Chat community. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. But most importantly, why don't you consider being a member? That's a way of supporting the channel, but also getting a lot of videos ahead of time, a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and some exclusive content that doesn't get shared. But anyway, thanks for watching, and thanks for being part of Halftime Chat. Sweet.